Collins here. Today I'm joined by Dricus Du Plessis, who returns to action UFC 290, July 8th, facing Robert Whittaker in a middleweight title eliminator. Dricus, always a pleasure, my friend. How are things for you today?
Mark, my friend, good to be here. Good to be back. Feeling good. Back in Vegas, my third international fight week. Like I said, it feels like home, especially this time of year. Nice, hot summer. It's winter in South Africa, so it was quite refreshing to be in the heat. But now it's intense heat. But loving every moment. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
The pleasure's all mine. You mentioned there about returning to Vegas. This will be your fifth fight in T-Mobile, as you mentioned. Third on the run in International Fight Week. Is that a particular statement that the UFC are booking you on these, the biggest show of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it has to be. It has to be the previous one. The one before, the first International Fight Week was Conor Poirier 3, and I got a performance bonus on that one with the knockout over Giles. And then the last one was the 3-round war with Brad Tavares, which in my opinion was 100% the fight of the night. And that was an absolute banger. So, every time you get the opportunity to fight for the UFC, firstly, and fighting on a stage and on an event like the International Fight Week event, the biggest one of the year, most of the times, is you have a responsibility and you have a massive opportunity there to promote your style, your fight, and getting good favors of fans and the UFC by putting up a performance and giving fans their money's worth. Those who pay to be there live and those who pay to watch it on pay-per-view. It's a responsibility as an athlete, I believe, that we have to go out there and perform and give the people entertaining fights. Because yes, winning is important, but people aren't paying just to see you win; they are paying to see entertaining fights. And thus far I've been delivering entertaining fights, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. So it's been great, and I guess the UFC is happy.
I think you've delivered entertaining fight throughout your entirety of career, never mind your UFC run, Dricus. But nevertheless, as I mentioned, you're back in action. Robert Whittaker is the opponent in just over a week's time. Does this at all feel like a step up in competition compared to the other guys you've been facing? And if so, how big of a step up?
Yes, absolutely. I think every fight has been a step up. Fighting when I started with Marcus Perez, then Trevin Giles, from Giles to Brad Tavares till to Brunson, and finally getting the number one guy other than just behind the champ in the division. And yeah, I guess that's the trajectory of a champion. That's the way it has to work. Fighting better guys, stepping up, and fighting up the ladder. And that's exactly what I plan on. Well, what I'm doing. And Robert Whittaker, he's an incredible athlete. Everybody knows that. There's no saying he's bad at anything. Robert Whittaker is a brilliant athlete, and this is definitely a step up in competition. But so much is to step up for me to face a guy like Whittaker. That much is going to be a step up for him to face me, and the Dricus that's going to step into that cage, the Stomachs that's going to be stepping in that cage, will be not only a step up, it would be one massive jump, one massive leap, probably a world record leap from the Dricus that faced Derek Brunson.
What, if at all, makes Robert Whittaker a unique challenge? What is the essential qualities of his game that make him so good at what he does?
No, unique is not. It's hard to say. He does what a lot of guys do, and one thing that he does have is he wins. He does that very well. He wins fights, and he wins important fights, and he wins all of these fights except for the championship fights. So he does that extremely well. I think Robert Whittaker is just one of those guys who, what I see in his game is he can quickly fight. He can fight a first round and not get trapped in his opponent's game plan. What he does so well is he stays wary. That first round, he feels out what you want to do in this fight. What's your game plan for this fight? And he matches that. He doesn't try to fight you there. He gives you the opportunity to show your tools, to show your weapons, to show what you want to use. And then he realizes, okay, this is exactly what my opponent wants to do. So what I'm going to do now is work around that. And then he starts implementing his game plan. And he's a fighter that he doesn't mind when there's no momentum. He can have a fight where nobody gains momentum, because if it's not the momentum he wants, then he just stops the momentum. And that's what I think he does really, really well. But, stopping my momentum is not going to be like the momentum he has. We saw that with Darren Till. Darren Till put him down that first round. Darren Till landed some big shots on me as well. And I honestly Darren Till didn't have the power to put me on my butt. There was no way that would happen. And with Whittaker, he's a calculated fighter. He stays calm. He's always in good shape. So yeah, I mean, that's what makes him unique, is the fact that he's always prepared, and he has a very high fight IQ. I have to say that. Whittaker has a high fight IQ. So obviously the experience will be in his favor in this fight. The big fight experience. Like, I've had a lot of 5-rounders, just like he has had a lot of 5-rounders just outside of the UFC. But the experience of facing top level competition, he's been at the top of the pile for many, many years. So that's going to be his advantage and maybe his demise at the same time.
100%. In order to, you mentioned there about your entertaining fight, what should have been the fight of the night, I think at UFC 276 against Brad Tavares, you fight of the night against Darren Till back in December. In order to win this fight against Whittaker, do you need to make this a Dricus Du Plessis fight? And what I mean by that is a battle of wills in many ways.
Absolutely. I think when you get to the level we are fighting at right now, fighting for that #1 contender spot, fighting the #1 ranked guy in the world, and we being in that top 5, there's game plan plays such a big role that to implement your game plan is so important. And the mindset of going out there and refusing to lose, refusing to give an inch, that's what win fights at this level. It's such a small margin for error that as soon as one small error would and can mean the end of the fight. One error. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be forcing errors and not making mistakes of mine.
100%. I'm going to say this, and when I say this next question, I don't mean any disrespect, but I did check the odds prior to this fight, and you're the biggest career underdog I can find on record. In your entire career, it seems to be the highest line I can see, around about a 3-1 underdog is the average. I'm seeing a lot of fans, a lot of media online, quite disrespectfully say, negative things that maybe you haven't, you should be the underdog, as high an underdog for a particular reason. And I'm going to say this, and I want your honest answer. Do you feel in many ways like people are writing you off in this fight?
Yeah, I think people are. They definitely are. And like I said, I think Robert Whittaker is a fan favorite, and rightfully so. He deserves to be the fan favorite. He has proven himself time and time again. And it's nobody can take away the fact that Robert Whittaker doesn't lose other than against a champion. And that's about to change. And I can't come in here and step in to fight a guy like Robert Whittaker and just expect everybody to start backing me against a guy like Robert Whittaker. What it's going to take is me proving that I deserve that backing, and that's what I plan on doing next weekend. Now, I don't see it as disrespect at all. I see it as a learning curve for the world of MMA. I see this as an opportunity to learn. I see this as an opportunity to educate a lot of people and to welcome them to what would be a new era of the middleweight division. What would be what is going to be the next big thing in the middleweight division and in the UFC. And I can't wait. Being the underdog literally makes no difference to me whether if I was the favorite by that far, it wouldn't have made a difference to me either.
Yeah.
I'm in here to perform as best as I can, and that's going to be amazing. And I'm going out there to put on a show, get a finish, and put up an amazing fight. The odds does not matter to me, but what does matter to me is proving a point, and I'm going out there to prove a point, and I can't wait.
Sure you can't. Dana White has confirmed that the winner of this fight is the next title challenger for Israel Adesanya, which means one of two options. It means a new contender for the champion, or it means a trilogy with a man who Adesanya has beat twice formally. I guess start with the initial rivalry that has kind of developed between yourself and Adesanya. Were you surprised you never got that title shot straight away, and that you were actually this bucket actually came to fruition?
Yeah, well, I mean, I honestly thought that they were going to give the title shot immediately, but I wasn't. There was, when they phoned me and said, okay, they want to do the Whittaker fight, I just said, yes, cool. That's it. If that's what it takes, in all honesty, it makes sense to me as well. They are put in a position that I do believe that if they wanted me immediately to be the next title challenger, which would make sense because Adesanya has faced everybody, they, in their minds, they have to think that I'm beating Whittaker. Otherwise, they want to do the Whittaker trilogy because Whittaker has never lost to anybody than Adesanya in this middleweight division. So, risky move if you look at the UFC's eyes to put me and Whittaker together before the title fight. But to me, it's not a risky move. To me, that's why I didn't even hesitate to take the fight. To me, it's another fight. It's the guy I need to beat to get to the title, and it's the guy I'm going to beat to get to the title. Whittaker, there's obviously easier routes to get to that title shot, but I'm not here to take the easy route. I want to beat Whittaker, and I want to prove that I deserve that title shot. I don't want there to be any doubt that when I beat Whittaker that when I get my belt, when I get my title shot, that I deserve to be there. I want it to be known that no matter what challenge you put in front of me, I'll go through it to get to where I want to be. And Whittaker is that challenge, and that is a massive challenge. But I will pass that challenge, and I will be victorious. And I think it's going to shock a lot of people on how easy I make that look. I honestly believe that this will be the best performance of my career. It has to be, and it will be. It has to be. If you're going to beat a guy like Whittaker, it needs to be your best performance so far. And I have no doubt that it will be. I'm feeling better than I've ever felt before. It's just every fight is a step up. Every fight is, I feel better. And this fight will be no different. I'm going to be, like I said, you won't even recognize the same guy that fought in March against Derek Brunson when I step into that cage next weekend.
How does it feel mentally to be one fight away from that title fight, to have that Dana White signed, sealed and delivered, that if you win this fight, you've got that fight for the middleweight title on the line next? What is the kind of mentality going into this fight, as knowing you're one away from the fight for the strap?
Yeah, I mean, it feels absolutely great. It's a great tap on the shoulder to be considered, to be, and this means that I'm one of the best fighters in the world. On paper, in my mind, I am the best fighter in the world. But on paper, this means I'm one fight away from being crowned the best fighter in the world. And that's great. I mean, it's a testimony of the hard work and all the grind that we've been putting in over all these years. And it's great, being here, and just I'm loving the journey. It still feels like the first time I'm here. It's still, everything gets me excited. The media days, everything. I'm just looking forward to every single aspect of it, and it feels amazing to be here. And what a journey it's been. And the title is a step in my journey, and it's definitely not the final destination, being the middleweight champion of the world. I want to do amazing things in the sport. Like I always said, my goal and my vision in this sport is to be the greatest to ever do it. And this is a step in the right direction. It's going to be an honor to be the champion, and it's going to be an honor to share this cage with Robert Whittaker, because he's somebody that I've always respected as a fan and as a competitor. And I've been watching his fights since I think I was a teenager when Robert Whittaker fought in the UFC. Oh. So I mean, he was pretty young when he made his debut. So I mean, coming up through the ranks and stepping in there with a guy like Robert Whittaker, that's pretty amazing. And right now, it's time to surpass your heroes and show how far you've come, and that there's a next generation coming in.
And you mentioned there about Fight Week. I will attest to that. Anybody who follows Dricus's Instagram feed or social media feeds, you can see how much you enjoy Fight Week. You seem to revel in every single day, every single moment, and it's kind of great to see from a fan and from a journalist perspective. Talking a little bit there about the man who, after this fight, you will be looking to face next, as Israel Adesanya. There has been let's say, an unfriendly rivalry develop between yourself and Adesanya over the last 12 months. I guess I want to know from your perspective, what is your relationship to Adesanya, and do you feel like he has become a rival at this point?
No, well, Adesanya to me, he's not a rival. He's not an enemy. He's the guy with the belt that I believe belongs to me. So that's the only way I see him. I see him as a guy that has that piece of gold that I want. And that's how I will continue to see him. He's not, to me, I don't see a person, I don't see a rival, I don't see an enemy, I don't see a friend, I see nothing. I see a guy holding the belt I see an object holding the belt that I want, and that's how I view him. I see him as the obstacle that needs to be surpassed to get that title, and that's how I will continue to see him until I have conquered the obstacle.
100%. Coming off that those initial comments, and I want to be very careful with how I ask this because it's a delicate situation. I think you were villainized in what you said. I think certain people said that Dricus said things that he never, and that would be my honest opinion. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like things were taken out of context and that you perhaps have been villainized in certain ways?
Oh, I think a lot of people commented. I think even Adesanya and Usman at first, when he commented, I don't think they saw the original statement that I made, because the words that they said was not the words that I said. That was the challenge that I put out there. Please show me where I said more African, that I'm more African than anybody. I never said those words. But obviously they try to make me the villain, but for what? Speaking the truth, that I do reside in Africa. I do not understand that, but it's honestly doesn't bother me, because the material is there, the interview is there, the proof is there, what I said, and anybody that wants to go back and watch it can go watch it and see that I never disrespected anybody. I simply stated the fact that I live and reside in Africa, and I was born in Africa, and that I want to take a belt home to Africa. So, and I'm going to. And so, I mean, that's why, so many people would like to say, if you could take it back, is there any way you would like to apologize? Or maybe, if you think, and there's no way. I have nothing to apologize for. I simply stated the fact that I live in Africa, and that I'm really, really proud of representing Africa and South Africa. And when I win that title, I'm taking it back to my house and my home and my gym and my team and my family in South Africa.
I agree, 100%. Final question for me, Dricus. I know you're a busy man. I'm going to ask you this question. You can take this question however you like. You can be as brief or as detailed as you like. What I would like you to do is I would like you to give me a walkthrough of the perfect fight day. So what happens?
I love when you do this.
What happens when you wake up in the morning to when you go to sleep at night?
Oh, it's gonna be a lot the same. I'm gonna wake up. I'll probably wake up on the perfect weight, 100%. I'm gonna wake up on the perfect weight that I want to be at. Gonna have an amazing breakfast with my team, and my brothers are flying in, both of them. I have a lot of friends, family, teammates coming to Vegas for this one, and I know everybody knows that feeling of fight day. It's gonna be, it's intense, but it's also excited. It's some people are nervous, some people are excited. I'll be super excited, staying calm at the same time, and going through it and taking it all in, and making sure that there's footage, making sure that the moment doesn't get lost, and just taking it all in and enjoying the whole process of going to the arena. We're going to do a power-up session, feeling great, shaking off everything from the weight cut, getting the muscles nice, relaxed, getting them moving, getting the legs going, getting the blood flowing, go to the arena and have a great warm-up. And when that walkout song starts playing, I would assume the crowd will not be in favor of me. And that's also that's amazing. Walking out there, feeling that cage, seeing that light, having Mr. Bruce introducing me, and seeing on the big screen, seeing that South African flag, seeing that flag, seeing my face, seeing South Africa represented on International Fight Week as a #1 contender fighting Robert Whittaker. And it's honestly going to be like a World Cup final for us. And going up and showing up for the moment, realizing after a couple of minutes, I'm doing this. I'm going and maybe going into that in the 3 minutes into the first round and realizing I've got this. And I would say probably by the end of the second round, referee saying stop, whether it be by submission, whether it be by KO, TKO, and I'm jumping on that cage, and every single fan that booed in there will be cheering. And I think right after that, I'll be chugging a couple of beers during my media day, and my agent will be phoning me saying Dana is giving us that bonus. And then we're on to the next one. So that is the perfect day. I'll be phoning my parents directly after that fight, probably beer in hand, and I will also be celebrating that bonus that's coming this way, and that's a perfect fight day for me.
I love it. Dricus, since I started in MMA journalism, every single fight you've had, I've been able to cover. You've given me your time, and it's been a pleasure and an honor to watch this journey that you've gone on right the way to this Robert Whittaker fight. I truly wish you the best of luck for next week. I'm rest assured I will be supporting you, along with many Brits from our shows, and I wish you the best of luck. Have a great fight week, and best of luck for the fight.
My friend, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Cheers.